Did you know that the ground beneath the Philippines is shaking more than usual? We're not just talking about the typical tremors of the Ring of Fire in the last 48 hours. There have been over a dozen deep-sea quakes that haven't followed any known pattern. And it has seismologists around the world completely stumped and on high alert. This isn't just another news report. This is a developing situation that could affect millions. The country is now on high alert as tsunami fears grow. But here's the kicker. Scientists are baffled. The usual models and warning systems are being questioned as strange new data rolls in. What is happening in the Philippine Trench? And why are the experts so concerned? Stick with us as we unpack everything you need to know. It all started 3 days ago. A series of moderate earthquakes, ranging from magnitude 4.5 to 5.2, were recorded off the eastern coast of Mindanao. Now, for the Philippines. This isn't entirely out of the ordinary. But then, something strange happened. The quakes weren't subsiding. They were becoming more frequent, and more importantly, their epicenter was migrating in a way that defied typical aftershock behavior. Local authorities, following standard protocol, issued initial advisories, but as the hours ticked by, the data coming from deep ocean buoys started to show anomalies. We're talking about unusual water displacement and pressure changes that didn't quite line up with the seismic energy released. This discrepancy is the core of the problem. It's a puzzle that has elevated this from a routine seismic event to a potential national emergency. Coastal communities are on edge. Evacuation drills are being reviewed, and the nation is holding its breath, waiting for an answer that science, for the moment, can't seem to provide. So, what has led to this high alert status? Let's break down the timeline. The first cluster of quakes struck in a region known for its complex tectonics. But instead of a main shock followed by smaller aftershocks, what seismologists observed was more like a swarm. A relentless, creeping swarm of tremors, moving steadily north along a previously unmapped fault line. Then came the buoy data. Buoy Pitnol Ampat, located about 200 kilometers offshore, started transmitting erratic signals. It reported a sudden, albeit small, sea level change of about 30 centimeters. Under normal circumstances, this wouldn't trigger a full-blown tsunami warning. However, the earthquake that supposedly caused it was too weak and too deep to justify such a surface-level disturbance. This is the first red flag. It suggests something else might be happening on the seabed. Is it a slow slip event? A kind of silent earthquake that can move massive amounts of water without the violent shaking? Or could it be an undersea landslide triggered by the initial swarm? The Philippine Institute of Volcanology and Seismology, or 5OX, has been working around the clock. But the more data they collect, the more questions they have. This uncertainty is exactly why the alert level has been raised. It's not about what they know, it's about what they don't know, and the potential for a catastrophic event that could arrive with little to no warning. Now, let's get into the science, because this is where things get truly fascinating, and frankly, a little scary. Scientists are currently analyzing every piece of information they have, from seismic waves to satellite altimetry data, which measures sea surface height from space. Dr. Elena Reyes, a leading geophysicist we consulted, explained that the seismic signatures are atypical. The waves are showing a strange, low-frequency hum that isn't usually present in tectonic quakes. This has led to a few competing theories. One radical idea is that a submarine volcanic system, previously thought to be dormant, might be reawakening. Magma moving beneath the seabed could be causing the ground to deform and triggering these quakes. If this were to lead to an underwater eruption, it could displace a colossal amount of water, generating a tsunami far larger than the earthquakes would suggest. Another theory, as we mentioned, is a massive, slow-moving, undersea landslide. The Philippine Trench is incredibly steep, and the recent tremors could have destabilized a massive slab of sediment. If that slab gives way, it would be like dropping a mountain into the ocean. The potential risk to coastal communities is immense. We're talking about millions of people living along the eastern seaboard of Luzon and the Visayas. A tsunami generated from this close could reach the shore in less than 30 minutes, leaving very little time for evacuation. This is why scientists are so focused on understanding what's happening right now. They're in a race against time, trying to solve this geological mystery before it's too late. The exploration into this anomaly has gone global. Research institutions from Japan and the United States are now collaborating with Flex, sharing satellite data and running complex computer simulations. These models are designed to predict potential tsunami inundation zones based on different scenarios. What would a slow slip event look like? What about an underwater landslide at different locations along the trench? The results of these simulations are sobering. In a worst-case scenario, waves could reach heights of 5 to 10 meters, flooding coastal cities and devastating infrastructure. But here's the problem. Without knowing the exact cause of the anomalies, these are all just educated guesses. One of the lead modelers, Dr. Kenji Tanaka, stated that their simulations have an uncomfortably large margin of error right now. He said, "We are flying blind. We are modeling dozens of possibilities, from the plausible to the highly improbable, because the data simply doesn't fit our existing frameworks." This highlights the unprecedented nature of the situation. The scientific community is confronting a phenomenon that challenges their fundamental understanding of tsunami generation. They are looking for a pattern, a key that will unlock the puzzle. Is the seismic hum getting stronger? Are the sea level changes accelerating? Every new data point is scrutinized for clues that could help them forecast what comes next. For the people living in the potential path of this threat, this scientific uncertainty is the most terrifying part. They are being told to be prepared for anything, because the experts simply don't have a definitive answer. It's a waiting game, where the stakes couldn't be higher. And then, just a few hours ago, the key moment we've been alluding to finally arrived. Fievel Keys held an emergency press conference, and what they revealed has sent shockwaves through the international community. They presented new data from an undersea drone that was deployed to the area yesterday. The drone's sonar imaging captured something astonishing. A massive fissure, nearly 50 kilometers long, has opened up on the seafloor. This was not there on previous surveys. Furthermore, the drone detected significant methane gas releases from the fissure, indicating that deep-seated geological processes are at play. "This is the game changer," the director of Fivelex stated, and I quote, "This is no longer a question of if, but when and how large." The energy being built up along this new fault is significant. The methane release suggests a level of instability we have not modeled before. We are now treating this as a precursor to a major seismic or submarine landslide event. This is the moment that changes everything. It shifts the threat from a possibility to a probability. The baffling signals, the strange hum, the unusual water displacement tilt, all starts to make a terrifying kind of sense. A huge section of the seafloor is becoming unstable, and the signs are pointing towards a potential release of that instability. This is no longer just a scientific puzzle. It's a clear and present danger. The government is now escalating its response, preparing for large-scale evacuations and urging the public not to be complacent. The question is no longer what is happening, but what do we do now that we know? So, to summarize, an unprecedented series of seismic events and oceanic anomalies have placed the Philippines on high alert for a potential tsunami. Scientists, initially baffled, have now discovered a massive, newly formed fissure on the seafloor that is actively releasing gas, suggesting a major geological event is imminent. The threat is real, and the situation is evolving by the hour. The most important thing for everyone, especially those in coastal areas, is to stay informed, listen to local authorities, and have an emergency plan ready. We want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on this developing situation? Are you in the Philippines? Let us know in the comments below, and make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell, as we will be providing continuous updates on this story as it unfolds. Stay safe, and thanks for watching.